Hi everyone, my name is Misiewicz from Optimised Accountants, and in this video I'm going to be talking about why I did not move to the United States, so the US. And I was going to be moving to Florida in the United States. But there's several reasons why I chose not to. And I'm actually living in Spain, so I'm not remaining in the United States, I'm actually moving in Spain. Now I'll do a video of that as well, comparisons between the US and Spain. But I think the first thing is family. And one thing that we have a son, obviously Louise and I have a son, and we wanted to know, well, what should happen to him if something happened to us? So who would look after him? How would we be protecting him for the future? Or what if one of us passed away, what the other person would do? And we had some heart-to-hearts around that subject, and it was not an easy conversation to be had. I'm sure many people will be having those conversations. What happens after I die? And so distance from family was really a thing. It's to go, if we're staying in the United Kingdom, we have to think about, well, move from the United Kingdom, getting a flight to Florida. It's a lot of money and it takes some time to get over there. So we need to think about, well, who would look after Hugo? How would they pick him up? And that was quite a frightening prospect of something happening. And it's probably the biggest reason why I decided not to. So that aside, why else did I not move to the United States? Americans hate America. I didn't understand this. I have been doing a lot of tax planning work with Americans moving to the UK. I've done a lot of tax consultations for Brits moving to the US as well. And a lot of them are moving back to the United Kingdom and some of them are staying, but most are moving back to the UK. And that tells me a lot. And some of the reasons why Americans tend to hate America is because of the political agenda. They feel that it's not the land of opportunity as it's portrayed. It's actually hidden agendas, and politically it's just people protecting one's interest, and it's not really there for the people en masse. And I just thought, okay, I know the UK got it bad, so how does it really matter? But I think the big thing is, if you go to a country and it's like that, then how protected do you feel moving from the United Kingdom to the United States? And I just felt really uncomfortable by that. And now, of course, there are pros and cons of everything, and if you can't protect yourself from every eventuality, but it was a major consideration. The other side to it is gun crime. The more and more that we think about going to the United States to live, the more and more gun crime we saw in schools. That is frightening. School kids killing other students, killing other teachers. That is just out of this world, right? What's your opinion on guns? That's your choice. But do I want my child to be at risk? Do I want to be at risk going into the school where some nut job has just decided to buy a gun from a shop and just blow people away? No, I don't. I just think that's absolutely freakily abnormal that a country would just say this is totally fine. It's not fine, and that's definitely one of the big reasons why I decided not to move to the United States, because of just the listen, we have huge knife crime in London. So, could it be any worse? Just because you don't like one thing doesn't mean that you should like another. So I don't like knives. I don't like guns. I don't like any of them. But where is it safer? Well, you could argue go to a different place in the United Kingdom where, knife crime isn't so high. You can do that. In the US, can you do that with gun crime? Maybe. But where we was looking at, it had the sunshine, it had the beaches, it had the gun crime. And that's just unfortunate. Visas. Oh, wow. Where do I start with this? I mean, the US, in terms of letting you into a country, is difficult to say the least. And there are different types of visas you can go in. We've looked at employment-based visas. We've looked at entrepreneur visas. We looked at, looking after our son visas, to the guardians. And all of them are so difficult to get. And then when you do get them, they are so subject to not just scrutiny in terms of getting you in the country. Actually, you can get in. I'm not going to say it's impossible. I think the percentage is something like 70% get in. So if you do an E2 visa, entrepreneur visa, you are likely to get in. But what I didn't like about it is that within a period of 2 to 5 years, I was reading news articles whereby people would set up a business, employ people, have their kids in private school, and still being told, no, we don't like your job or your business application, so we're going to tell you to leave within 3 months. I mean, that's scary. That's just like, well, okay, if you're from the United Kingdom, you've got a long way to go. You've got a house, potentially, you've got a car, you've got a business, you've got employees. That's a lot to take in. And to be told just from a government, no, we don't want you anymore. That's just, again, for me, it's just beyond what I can cope with at my age. I'm sure for people who are single, it doesn't really make much difference. But when you have a family and you've got an economic tie to a country and you need to make it work, then actually it's more difficult just to leave that. And then there's the final tax reporting. I'm a UK US tax qualified, and I know that the reporting for the US is phenomenally, substantially greater than it is in the United Kingdom. A tax return in the UK may be something like 30 to 60 pages. In the US, it could be 300-400 pages, which is just nuts of information that you have to give to the US, the Internal Revenue Service, the IRS. And that just frightens me that once you get a green card, you have to file a tax return to the IRS no matter where you live. So if I decided, well, I'll get my green card, great, that's all done. I become a citizen of the US, all good, brilliant. But then I decide, well, actually, do you want, I don't mind traveling the world and splitting my time when Hugh goes in work. I probably could spend 3 elements of time in different countries. But I'd have to still do the tax report to the US. I'd still have to pay income tax to the United States. So if I decided, and by the way, anyone who's thinking, well, I'll move to Dubai, where it's very little tax or no tax, and you're an American, you still have to pay tax to the IRS. So you move to a tax efficient country, but you still have to pay tax to the IRS. It just feels really alien. And by the way, for anyone considering moving to the United States, as an individual, where you are named an alien, which you are called if you're not American, an alien, feels rather disturbing, I have to say. So, it's just things like that made me think. But on the whole, I haven't moved to the United States for a variety of different reasons. I'm not saying that place sucks. I plan to get a home there. I plan to have my business there and do just various stuff in there. But I don't really want to be subjected to their laws, their ways of governing you by living there. I could still have all the things I want in the United States, but I don't even need to live there. I can just go there, do my business, do a bit of touring, sightseeing, holidaying, vacationing, if you like, and still have the best of both worlds. So really, this video is all about why I haven't moved to the United States, but I'm not saying the United States is a bad country. I think it's a great country, but there are good reasons why I decided not to move to the United States and instead move to Spain. So there you have it. So feel free to drop in your comments. If you've moved to the United States and you're making this really happen, and you say you don't know what you're talking about, this is brilliant, blah, 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 please do share that with me, because it would be great to have you on this video channel, maybe do an interview on this subject. Equally, if you kind of say, yep, I echo those reasons as an American moving out of the US, or as a person that's moved to the US and moved back, please do feel free to share your experiences, and I'll do maybe I'll do a video talking about your reactions to this video, just so we can get to know one another better and help one another out in the future. So there you are. There's my second video of this kind of suite. I'll be back doing another type of video, so feel free to ask me questions of what subjects you would like me to cover next. Until next time, cheerio.